Because they feel harmless, but they are silent thieves of your life. Seneca said, "It is not that we have too little time, but that we squander much of it." Every hour spent on trivial distractions is an hour you can never reclaim. Instead, focus on skill building, meaningful relationships, and experiences that enrich your life. Protect your time like it is gold, because in reality, it is. Use it wisely, and it compounds over months and years. Waste it, and it is gone forever, leaving nothing but regret. To tell you the truth, the majority of individuals are completely unaware of the amount of their lives that they waste on activities that have no significance. Although it may appear to be innocent, engaging in activities such as checking notifications, scrolling through endless feeds, or watching content that does not educate, inspire, or challenge you can gradually deplete your potential. Each seemingly insignificant and harmless choice adds up, and before you know it, years have passed and your life turns out to be completely different from what you had envisioned. We are reminded by Marcus Aurelius that we should not behave as if we were destined to live for 10 million years. You are surrounded by death. Be good while you are still alive and while you have the ability to do so. Each and every hour that you give up in order to avoid distractions is an hour that you could have spent developing your skills, strengthening your relationships, or working toward achieving your goals. Spending time on things that are not important is not only a waste of time. It is also a theft of the person you have the potential to become. Just think about it. A person spends 1 hour of their evening scrolling through their various social media accounts. This equates to 7 hours each week, 28 hours per month, and more than 300 hours per year. How much progress would you be able to make if you spend those 300 hours learning, creating, or working on developing yourself? The effect of compounding is really dramatic rather than being the result of passive consumption. Growth, mastery, and fulfillment are all the result of conscious investment of time. Self-awareness is the most important factor. Save your time like it's a priceless gem. Assess the worth of each activity in terms of its long-term impact. Will this decision get me closer to achieving my objectives, or will it serve as a distraction? The individuals who are able to accomplish great things are not those who have more time. Rather, they are those who make disciplined and purposeful use of the time they have. Stop exchanging your life for things that have no significance. You will be able to observe the transformation of your potential into a reality once you begin investing on what actually counts. Number 4. Action beats motivation every single time. Many people wait for motivation to strike. They say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll begin when I feel inspired." But motivation is fleeting. It is unreliable. Waiting for it ensures stagnation. Epictetus taught, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Motivation alone will never build a life. Action comes first, momentum follows. Start doing, even imperfectly. Each small step compounds into larger results. Waiting for the perfect day, the perfect mood, or the perfect opportunity ensures that life passes you by while others are building, learning, and achieving. Action transforms dreams into reality. The harsh truth is simple. Action is the bridge between intention and result. If you want to stop wasting time, you must act today. No excuses, no hesitation, no waiting. One of the most common errors that people make is that they believe they are ready when they are not. As they wait for clarity, confidence, or creativity, they are under the impression that these states would present themselves miraculously. On the other hand, clarity is achieved by action, confidence is gained through practice. And inspiration is derived from momentum. The Stoics were aware that they were falling into a trap when they waited for external conditions. Those that take action in spite of their fears, uncertainties, or imperfections are rewarded in life. When Seneca said, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life," he was emphasizing the importance of considering this principle. While you delay, you are losing a day of your life that you will never get back. Every activity, no matter how insignificant or imperfect it may be, is the source of learning, progress, and outcomes. With each new step forward, new opportunities are revealed, faults are uncovered and corrected. And the habits that will eventually lead to mastery are built up. On the other hand, taking action is a proclamation of ownership over your time and your fate. Whereas waiting for motivation is a type of self-sabotage that is more passive. Take for example someone who is acquiring new skills. They wait until they come to the point when they feel motivated to begin training, only to discover that weeks or months have passed. Another individual begins immediately, putting in a little bit of practice each day. It is not because the second person have greater talent that they eventually overtake the first person. Rather, it is because the second person took action while the first person hesitated. Those who adhere to the Stoic philosophy would argue that the disciplined use of time and effort is of much greater significance than ephemeral sensations or impulses. Getting started is the reward for gaining momentum. This is how habits are formed. Character is developed via habits. Character is the driver of results. You should get started right away if you wish to stop squandering time and start constructing your life. Even if the initial step is insignificant, even if it is unsettling, and even if it is imperfect, it is of incalculable value in comparison to waiting for motivation to come along. Action is the bridge that connects dreams to reality. And it starts the moment you make the decision to move forward without delay. Number 5. You are responsible for every second of your lifetime is yours and yours alone. No one else is responsible for it. Your boss, your friends, your family, none of them will live your life for you. Every second wasted is your choice. Every hour spent procrastinating is gone forever. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Accountability is the ultimate tool for taking control of your life. When you fully accept responsibility for every second, you reclaim control and power. Schedule your day intentionally, protect your energy, prioritize what matters. The way you spend your time defines your life, and no one else will safeguard it for you. The terrible reality is that living does not make up for an insufficient amount of time. Nothing can be accomplished by expressing dissatisfaction, placing blame on external factors, or waiting for other people to fix your position. Every time that you give up control of your life is a moment that someone else, or nothing at all, is setting the terms for your existence. The Stoics place a strong emphasis on personal responsibility because they were aware that individual liberty begins when one takes responsibility for every decision, every action, and every hour. The words of Seneca serve as a cautionary tale. No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. There is a sort of self-deception that occurs when one waits for external forces to align. It is not possible for your surroundings, your co-workers, your family, or your friends to live out your purpose for you. They are unable to make the decisions that will come to define your life. In the event that you are waiting for another person to make a decision for you, you are giving up the one thing that you genuinely possess, which is your time. Acquiring awareness is the initial stage in the process of regaining control. Keep in mind that each and every second is a resource that is limited and cannot be replenished. On a regular basis, you should ask yourself, am I making the most of this hour to get closer to my goals? Or am I allowing it to slip away? Maintain your energy by shielding it from distractions, obligations that are meaningless, and influences that are harmful. Your day should be planned out in the same manner as a Stoic general would organize a campaign, methodically, intentionally, and with the full awareness that every action will have an effect on the outcome. Take responsibility also means accepting the unsettling reality that the majority of individuals fail not because they are unable to take advantage of opportunities, but rather because they are unable to effectively manage their time and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. You could live life right now, Marcus Aurelius has been quoted as saying. Let that be the deciding factor in all you do, say, and think. Because of the urgency of life, action is required. You will stop waiting, you will stop blaming, and you will begin to create when you commit to taking complete ownership of your time. Each and every second that you recapture is a building block for the life that you genuinely desire. A life that is not determined by the decisions of others, but rather by the choices that you make with self-control and intention. Number 6. Excuses are killing your dreams. Excuses are seductive. They allow temporary relief from guilt while keeping you firmly stuck. I don't have time. I'm too tired, or I'll start next week are phrases that silently steal your life. Seneca warned. It is not that we are given a short life, but we make it short. And we are not ill-supplied but wasteful of it. Excuses are choices, so is action. The people who succeed do not wait for perfect conditions, they start anyway. They face fear, discomfort, and imperfection, and they move forward relentlessly. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button now to get more truths delivered straight to you that push you to take consistent action every day. Excuses kill dreams, action builds them. Which will you choose? The employment of excuses is convenient. They may help you feel secure for a short period of time, but they are actually robbing you of your potential every time you make an excuse. You are essentially giving up a small bit of your future without even realizing it. The phrase, "I'm too tired today, I'll start tomorrow," may appear to be harmless at the time, but in the long run, it can result in missed opportunities that will last for weeks, months, and even years. Explanations do not come at an immediate cost. Rather, they accumulate over time, gradually diminishing your abilities, your objectives, and finally, your life. According to a quote attributed to Epictetus, we are not disturbed by things, but by the view from which we take them. To put it simply, excuses are nothing more than a skewed perspective. A way of seeing difficulties as hurdles that are too difficult to overcome. The Stoics teach that your perceptions determine the world that you experience. When one shifts their perspective from one of justification to one of responsibility, excuses lose their powerful influence. You will regain control of your life the instant you stop justifying your inaction and start taking action. Consider every person you look up to, whether they are successful business people, artists, or sports. Not a single one of them waited for completely ideal conditions. When it came to making excuses, none of them gave themselves permission to do so. It was in spite of their fear, lack of resources, or discomfort that they took action. Despite the fact that it was more convenient for them to postpone, avoid, or complain, they consistently chose to take action, which helped them develop discipline. This is a simple excuse. Taking action is challenging, but it is through adversity that growth arises. You are able to develop your willpower and expand your capacity to achieve more with each time you are able to resist the desire to rationalize your inaction. People who are successful in achieving their objectives are not the most skilled, rather they are the most constant in their refusal to accept excuses and their commitment to taking unrelenting action. In light of this, the question that has to be asked is straightforward. Will you continue to provide yourself with excuses, or will you decide to take charge of your life today? Now is the time to click the subscribe button in order to become a member of a community that is dedicated to challenging excuses, taking action, and constructing lives with a purpose. Your life will take a certain path, and every decision you make between being comfortable and being courageous will determine that path. 7. You can't do it all, so stop trying. Many people spread themselves too thin, chasing every opportunity, every task, and every interest. The result is mediocrity, frustration, and wasted effort. Focus is the superpower that separates the average from the exceptional. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Identify the few high-impact activities that will shape your future and commit fully to them. Stop chasing everything and start mastering what matters most. Quality over quantity applies to your skills, your relationships, and your achievements. Focus creates mastery. Distraction creates regret. One of the most common reasons for the urge to do everything is the fear of missing out on something, or the mistaken notion that being busy is equivalent to being productive. We overcommit ourselves, we overextend ourselves, and we disperse our energy among an infinite number of jobs that bring very little benefit in the long run. Exhaustion, dissatisfaction, and mediocrity are the outcomes of this situation. On the surface, you might have the impression that you are productive. Nevertheless, beneath the surface, your attention is divided and your entire potential is not being utilized. We are reminded by Marcus Aurelius that we should concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what is in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, along with removing yourself from any and all other sources of distraction. Maintaining focus requires a conscious effort. Instead than focusing on doing fewer things, since life is short, it is more important to focus on doing the right things, because life is brief. The fewer things you focus on, the greater the sense of mastery and effect you will be able to attain in those particular areas. A person who is an artist, a writer, or a business person is an example. Those who choose to accomplish greatness do not juggle dozens of initiatives that are unconnected to one another. Rather, they choose a few fundamental goals and devote themselves completely to achieving them. They are aware that in order to achieve mastery, one must acquire depth, consistency, and the removal of distractions. In a similar manner, you should determine the hobbies, habits, and initiatives that have the most leverage in your own life. These are the deeds that will determine the course of your tomorrow. Whatever else there is, regardless of how attractive it may be, is a distraction. Focus, according to the Stoic philosophy, is not merely a tactic, rather it is a state of mind. When you give priority to what is genuinely important, you not only improve your skills and achieve better outcomes, but you also keep your energy and mental clarity intact. Put an end to your attempt to handle everything. Put an end to dispersing your existence among an infinite number of possibilities. Instead, make a complete commitment to the things that are most important to you and allow quality, depth, and purposeful effort to direct your journey. Focus is the key to mastery, and mastery is the key to freedom. Focus is the entrance to mastery. Number 8. Time spent planning without action is waste. Planning is important, but overplanning is an excuse for inaction. Many people spend years designing the perfect strategy, thinking that careful planning is enough. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't get lost, Austin. Your thoughts. Do what you were born to do. Execution is what transforms ideas into results. Start imperfectly. Adjust along the way, and learn from failures. Movement is always superior to stagnation. A step forward today is worth more than a perfect plan in your drawer. When we plan, we feel as though we are preparing ourselves for success and get a sense of control over our lives. Planning, on the other hand, turns into a trap when action is not taken. It is a cozy illusion that conceals the truth that nothing is truly moving forward. People fall into this trap because planning may provide the impression of being productive, but it does not actually yield any outcomes. They believe that once they have the perfect plan, everything would simply fall into place for them immediately. It is a harsh reality that perfection can never be achieved, and any time that is wasted waiting for it will be lost forever. The teachings of Epictetus include the following. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. When it comes to planning, the act of doing should always take precedence over the act of preparing. Those who adhered to the Stoic philosophy understood that knowledge without action is useless. This is the only way that ideas and strategies may be considered valuable. The execution of a defective plan is significantly more effective than the execution of a great plan that is left dormant. Clarity is generated through movement. It is action that yields insight. The only thing that results from inaction is regret. Whereas even mistakes can teach us valuable lessons. Think about someone who has always wanted to launch their own company. They invest a significant amount of time, months, or even years in developing the optimal company plan, researching every industry trend, and waiting for the right time to release their product or service. A competitor, on the other hand, begins with an incomplete strategy, adapts to the situation in real time, and quickly learns what works and what does not work. It is not perfection that wins, but execution. Every single day that is spent preparing without taking any action is a day that is lost in the world of actual development. One must strike a balance, make enough preparations to prevent chaos, yet take enough action to produce results. Get started from where you are, start with a flawed foundation, and improve as you go. Taking action is the best way to avoid squandering time. And progress is the result of having the courage to begin despite the presence of uncertainty. Stoics believe that life is more about doing action than it is about reflecting about it. Don't waste your time waiting for perfection. Make the first move today and let your actions to determine the direction you will take. Number 9. People are temporary, time is permanent. People come and go. Friends, colleagues, and acquaintances are temporary. Time, however, is permanent. How you spend it determines your life trajectory. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. Prioritize people who challenge you, inspire you, and elevate your energy. Protect your time from those who drain it. Every wasted hour in the wrong company is a lost opportunity you can never regain. Use your time to surround yourself with the people who help you grow, not those who hold you back. One of the most valuable and non-renewable resources you own is time. After it has been lost, time cannot be retrieved in the same way that belongings, money, or even status can be. Personal relationships, on the other hand, are ephemeral. It is possible for friends to leave, for colleagues to betray, and for circumstances to shift. In the event that you give others the authority to determine how you spend your time, you are giving up control of your life to forces that are only temporary. The book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius serves as a reminder to us that if we choose not to be harmed, we will not feel harmed. You should not feel harmed, and you have not been damaged. If I may put it another way, the only way for external factors and the presence or absence of people to have influence on your life is if you give them permission to do so. Your time is yours to preserve. And you have to be careful about who you chose to spend it with and how you want to spend it. You should surround yourself with people who will help you grow, who will challenge you, and who will inspire you. You should steer clear of those that sap your energy, divert your attention away from your objectives, or lure you into negativity. Consider the innumerable hours that you have wasted trying to cultivate relationships or social circles that do not add anything to your own personal growth. Having conversations that are full of gossip, having friends who constantly moan, or having friends that encourage mediocrity are all examples of things that steal your most important resource without you even realize it. You will never get back the time you spend working for the wrong firm, since every hour you spend there is a wasted opportunity. The Stoics held the belief that the cultivation of a circle that bolstered virtue and wisdom was essential. When you make meaningful connections a priority, your energy increases, your focus becomes more acute, and your life trajectory becomes more aligned with the goals that are most important to you. Time that is spent properly has an impact that is permanent, even if the people around you are not of the same kind. Guard it with all your might. Consciously put it into motion. Make use of it to construct, develop, and strive for perfection. As a result of the fact that people may come and go, the legacy that you leave behind is determined by the amount of time that you spend living your life. 10. You will regret time wasted more than failure. Most people fear failure, but the deeper regret comes from doing nothing. People rarely regret taking a risk and failing. They regret waiting, hesitating and delaying endlessly. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not act as if you were going to live 10 years. Death hangs over you while you live. While it is in your power, be good. Every second wasted is lost forever. Procrastination, hesitation, and distraction are silent thieves of your potential. Your future self will thank you for taking action now or curse you for every wasted moment. The clock is ticking. Start now. Build now. Excessive numbers of people are stuck in a cycle of reluctance because they are afraid of failing. In addition to overthinking and overplanning, they wait interminably for guarantees that will never materialize. However, the reality is that failure is not the adversary, rather, it is a teacher. Insight, experience, and progress are gained with every risk that is taken and every mistake that is committed. It is not the failures that we regret the most when we reach the end of our lives. Rather, it is the possibilities that we passed up, the chances that we never took advantage of, and the potential that we allowed to be lost. It is not that we have a short time to live. Rather, it is that we waste a significant amount of it, Seneca cautioned him. Every single hour that is lost due to factors such as indecision, procrastination, or distraction is lost for good. After a longer period of delay, the window of opportunity to create the life you want will become increasingly limited. It is an illusion to wait for the perfect moment. The only moment you truly have is the time you are living in right now. One should think about the people who have accomplished amazing things, such as business people, artists, athletes, and leaders. They didn't wait for absolute clarity or for the right moment to act. They took daring actions, frequently tripping along the way, gaining knowledge from their errors, and modifying their path of action. When potential is put into action, it becomes a reality. On the other hand, people who wait indefinitely are only able to amass regrets as they watch life develop around them while their aspirations remain unfulfilled. Build. Life is a finite and transient thing, according to the Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius places a strong emphasis on living conscious lives, arguing that every action should have a purpose. Every choice should be intentional, and every moment should be utilized. When you procrastinate, you are not just wasting time, but you are also robbing yourself of the very essence of your potential. The decisions you make today will either be celebrated by your future self, or it will be mourned by the opportunities you let out of your grasp. Time does not wait for anyone. It is time to take action right now. Putting an end to hesitating, delaying, and allowing distractions to take your life is really important. Every single day, you should do actions that are be mindful and consistent. Build, create, study, and develop yourself. The decisions you make right now will determine not only your legacy, but also your accomplishments and the kind of life you choose to live. Do not allow regret to be the defining characteristic of your life, rather allow it to be defined by unrelenting activity, bravery, and purpose despite the fact that they seem unsettling. The truths that we have addressed are very important. The Stoic philosophy teaches that existence is ephemeral, that time is limited, and that the only thing that can turn a goal into a reality is action. Put an end to waiting for authorization. Put an end to creating excuses. Put an end to your grip on comfort. Every second is important. Each and every choice is serious. If you make a commitment to these harsh realities, you will avoid squandering time, you will recover your life, and you will start constructing a future that is worth living. Only action can be taken. There is no such thing as a perfect moment, no certainty, and no external approval. Confront the realities of the situation. Accept responsibility for it. Continuously move forward. Since life is happening, regardless of whether you want to engage in it or waste it, begin right away. Waiting for you is your life.